Oh my gosh.
I would say so.
I think we have 2 minutes, right? Are we good? Oh, we are at 7 o'clock. Let's go to the next screen. Because I caught this big fish. I caught a big fish. I got him on the screen. Come on, let's get this thing moved over to the next screen. Move the next screen. All right. I cannot see. She cannot hear me. Counting down. All right, we're counting down. If you're listening out there, welcome to the podcast. Please, put some comments in there, start liking, all that good stuff, and then we will ask the comments at the very end, unless it's a very, very crazy good one. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. My wife's big hair is in the way. I can't see what the timer says. It's like about 30 more seconds. I can't wait till you guys see this big fish I got on the screen.
I'm excited.
You're excited?
It says 50 seconds.
I got a huge crew here tonight. Tracy, Max is back. Tracy is not. He's playing basketball with the son. Second to his last game. And Thursday night is his last game. He should be here next week. All right. We are.
He has to be here next week.
You think so?
He has to
be. All right. I think she's starting to play the music again. My wife's trying to control this, and she's doing a fabulous job.
Take it. 3 seconds.
Yeah. We're good. Hit the main screen at the top. Alrighty. I told her how to do it like 16 times, and she still got it right. That's all I can say.
Oh, I'd do a worse job than her.
Oh my gosh. I tell you what, if I was over there, I'd be crying right now, running into the walls.
If I never hear that song again, I'll be okay.
Welcome to the fabulous Walton, Kentucky, Indian of Northern Kentucky. What a great dealership. I wish you guys could see the bikes. Actually, we can go to the Max screen. Behind there is all them lovely Indian motorcycles.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got about a 5-second delay. Anyway, I caught a big fish. Welcome to the podcast, RidingFish. How you doing?
No applause. No, I'm just kidding. Oh,
yeah. Hey, get the applause right there. See, it's on the left corner right there. Go down there, Connie. It's on the left. There we go. Yes. Congratulations. Let's do this over again. Everybody, RidingFish.
Yay.
There we go.
Okay.
Welcome to the podcast.
Settle down. Hide your wives, but I'm here. I'm happy to be here. Thank you guys for having me. Pretty excited. I got to shout out Max right now because if it wasn't for him, none of this would have happened. Other than that, this is just going to be a big old fish story. So we're going to
exactly. You're going to be saying it, and we're just going to be listening. And we're going to be dreaming that we were doing the same thing.
Oh man! Don't let me take over. Cut me off. People know. Max knows. Kevin just shouted out, "What's up, Kevin?" My boy with Black Candy. He's in the comments already. So shout out to him for watching, and hopefully everybody hit subscribe if you haven't, and thumbs up, all that good stuff. I'm just gonna get it out the way because I know how important it is.
Oh yeah, exactly. A bunch of call outs throughout this whole thing, hopefully. But we are glad you're here. I wish I could actually see you right now. Next time we'll get that. We can put that if we can figure it out.
The Indian monitor doesn't like to take outside inputs.
Yeah.
We already tried.
We are live on Facebook and YouTube, so that's good. So if you're out there on Facebook, please like and comment. If you want to, come over to the YouTube side, that's fine too. We're glad to have you. And we got a special guest, like I said, RidingFish. He's going to tell us a bunch of stuff. And the most important thing that I think you want to talk about is the bike and what you did and all that good stuff to get this bike.
And for once, I'm not talking about spicy candy.
So Folds of Honor, man. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so as you guys are IMRG members, I believe, all four of
Yes.
you, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
True.
Awesome. You remember back early spring, Indian Motorcycle IMRGs signed up to raise some money for Folds of Honor, and they did a thing where whoever raised the most money got a free Indian Springfield painted by Hollister, custom painted by Hollister, and yeah, that was the deal. And real quick, at first I told them no, I wasn't interested. I was like, you guys, come on. I have a really nice bike. Yes, I want a bike, but it sounds like a lot of work. So then my boy Jeff challenged me. He's like, well, why don't we just win the bike and then take it to auction, and we'll auction the proceeds off, or auction it off. Proceeds will go back to Folds of Honor. And I was like, okay, now you got me interested. So we're just doubling down on a good cause. And yeah, I mean, I want to shout out the whole community. First of all, the IMRG 2015, which they helped me out tremendously. Without them, I couldn't have done it for sure. But as a whole, listen to this. I don't know if you guys know this. Indian Motorcycle set a goal to raise $50,000 for Folds of Honor. And our community, and I say that as all of us IMRG members across the nation, raised $115,000. So
Wow.
Nice.
That's awesome.
really, our community is the goal. And all I'm going to do is take some of this and I'm going to roll it back, and we're going to give it to Folds of Honor Minnesota, my local chapter, Folds of Honor. So.
Well, that's good. I mean, that's great. Anybody got any questions to ask them about that? Go ahead.
But here's the thing. You know, I've been following you all along here. Shout out stuff for the hand control guy, RK, RG. Who's the hand control?
BC Customs?
Yeah, BC Customs. And then,
Yeah.
of course, your taillight guy.
Ride Culture,
Ride
Mike.
Culture, yes. Those guys have been helping you a lot, too. And then you said you had totes coming on board, too. Not to mention
Yeah.
Lloyd's up there and everybody else.
Yeah, so part of the whole thing was, I don't want to just take a bike and then flip it. I was like, I got friends in high places, right? So yeah, BC Customs, he's doing his thing. Mike and Ride Culture already did their thing. We put bag lights on it and floorboards. Lloyd Greer has committed to doing performance work. We're going to do cams. Listen, I got to shout out Toast Performance. Okay, they're my guys. They don't even make an exhaust for this bike. They went out and borrowed one from their local dealership to make an exhaust for this bike. So whoever wins this bike, know you're getting the prototype. They did say to me, they're like, hey, we're going to keep the mold and hopefully bring it to market. And I'm like, good, I hope you do. But I'll take that prototype. So that Audette Motorcycles is doing some stuff. And then guys, listen, we all know people with Springfields. How many people with Springfield do we know got audio systems?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're throwing a banging audio, David audio system, Cicada. It's going to be Bluetooth, subwoofers, 4 8-inch speakers. We got the speaker lids, 8-inch, and Dirty Bird's 8-inch lowers, hard lowers. So, yeah, I'm pretty freaking excited. I actually had a meeting with Hollister today because, bless their heart, I sent them the products and they painted them to match the bike.
Oh, my goodness.
That's great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So shout out to Hollister, and it's like we have a great community. Indian motorcycle community is a great one, and I'm just lucky that I rattled enough cages that they all want in on good causes.
Yeah. I'm not a very lucky person when it comes to stuff like that. I think every drawing I've ever entered, it was just a donation. I don't think I've won anything, but obviously, you won this thing. What was your initial reaction when you found out that you won this thing? I mean, it had to be way over the top, jumping up and down. Your neighbors had to know. What was your initial reaction when you found out you won this?
I'm the only dumbass in the world that's going to win a motorcycle and give it away.
But it's for a good cause.
Yeah.
And I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen this bike, but you need
Oh,
to
yeah.
check
It's
it out
beautiful.
because it is beautiful.
Yeah.
Patriotic theme and everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very much like a G.I. Joe, Captain America.
Oh, yeah. It's a beautiful bike.
Oh, by the way, how's the name the bike contest going right now?
It kind of stalled. So maybe we'll just pick that name tonight. Well, maybe we'll discuss that. We'll put it in writing tonight. What do you think?
I just think Captain America's the winner.
Captain America. What is the names? The top names right now?
All right, so we have some Mr. and Mrs. Freedoms. People are down for that. We got a Captain America here by Max. I liked Steve Rogers. If anybody's kind of, I like Steve Rogers because that is Captain America, right? But you got to know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Somebody else said Princess Diana. I mean, Wonder Woman. So I think I'm open for suggestions still. Maybe tonight we'll pick that night. Finesse, what do you think we should name this Springfield?
Yeah.
But yeah, Finesse, what's up, guy? Jeff Baca. Jeff is the guy that challenged me to take this. He's the owner of 1901 Rally. He's going to be planning all the partying in Vegas. I like to have parties. I don't like to plan them. So I get my friends to plan them for me. So it's either the IMRG 2015 that's planning parties or rides, or in this case, Jeff Baca down at 1901 Rally. So,
you want to tell us a little bit about 1901? I mean,
yeah. I mean, I don't want to speak for him, but really, he's a guy that him and I worked together. I'll tell you. So in 2021, I believe was the first year him and I ever worked together. And we went down to Maggie Valley and we sold out a hotel, 100% sold out. And we ended every night in the parking lot. Like one day there's videos of me having like 15 Domino's pizzas strapped to the back of my bike just to see if I could do it, to deliver dinner. And we just all sat around the pool and some people had adult drinks, some people had regular drinks. So we just sat there and told fish stories. And so he kind of liked that. And I'm not, Jeff, if you're watching, bro, tell me where I mess up. But he liked it. Let's do that more, and his whole thing is he's about community, camaraderie, and adventure. And so when him and I started working together, I'm pretty much for the same things. I love our community, motorcycle community, not even just specifically to Indian motorcycle. And camaraderie, brotherhood, and adventure. I'm all about living once, and nothing else is promised tomorrow. So live for today. So, yeah. So that's 1901 Rally. So go to 1901rally.com and you can find out he has an event in Texas in April. And then he's helped hosting this event that we're doing in January in Las Vegas. Kerrville, Texas. Who you guys coming? Who's coming to Vegas? Max, you coming?
I wish I could, man. I'm still kind of laid up with this leg thing. We'll see where I'm at. And they totaled my bike, so.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a motorcycle event, man. Just come on crutches, bro. I just say you get an exit row. You get to get on the plane early.
We'll talk about that offline.
No pressure, but lots of peer pressure. Okay?
Me and Les actually are talking about it. We're just looking at the logistics and the costs, and that's I guess we could talk about it tonight after we're done.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I think it's just going to be a men's thing unless somebody's going to jump on the plane with us. But
Heather wants to go.
Oh, she does.
know.
She want to go?
Oh yeah, she's asked me half a dozen times. Is this only a guy's trip?
The Connie, you have to go then.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to go.
Connie.
Yeah.
Hey, Fish, is Minnow coming?
All right, so this is a touchy subject.
Okay, sorry about it. Sorry about that.
So I committed to this whole thing. Without ever looking at a calendar, and the bike's going across the auction block on her birthday.
Oh man,
that's not good.
The next day, February 1st, is she has a gymnastics event that she has to be at. So there has been some light conversation about flying her and her mom in the day before her birthday, and then like flying her home kind of early on her birthday. But I'm honestly, she's going to be 11. She has Max, as you know, she's very opinionated. She can tell me what she wants, and I do value her opinion. And so we're thinking maybe we just party the weekend before, kind of do an off weekend celebration. But yeah, she's going to get an option, but I'm not sure. Right now it's up in the air. But yeah, the bike's going across the block on her birthday, so I'm gonna have to wear my Riding Minnow shirt on that day.
Yeah, do a shout out.
Yeah. So what you get, Aaron?
So when you're doing this giveaway, Could you describe how it's going to raise more money for the Folds of Honor?
Yeah, hang on one second. Wow, what a rookie move.
Hey, what do you want for dinner?
Right, exactly. It's all over again. So this is what we're gonna do. It's really just getting auctioned off. I'm not giving it away. I just say I'm giving it away because I'm not profiting from it. So I'm just gonna take some of if it sells for like $100,000 and I can take all my cost, but depending on how much it sells for, I'm into the bike for a few grand. I got to pay income tax on $30,000. I don't know. I'm talking to a couple of, there's some numbers put out there, but I'm not being like super, like out loud with those numbers only because if we come up short, I'm not going to be like, oh, that was nice. Thanks for paying all my taxes and then not donating any money. Yeah. So at that point, I'm probably going to just eat some and then just kind of call it a day. And yeah, I'll tell you, Les, you were asking a little bit about winning the bike.
Yeah.
So were any of you guys involved in this at all?
I was not.
No.
And then, so they actually had a live running scoreboard. Indian Motorcycle did. So as a person received a donation, it was like bing. And so it's like, I'm going up and I guess I don't want to say, but my buddy, he's also an IMRG down in Alabama. He knows, if he's watching, he knows who I'm talking to. He was kind of we're going. And the craziest thing was I had supporters that were watching live also. And there was a couple like moments where he had some big donations come through and, 11:05 PM, right? All of a sudden, boom, $1,500. And all of a sudden it's like somebody makes a donation in my name. And I'm like, oh, and these guys are watching it. I mean, that was the support, and I'm just going to say, I know he's watching right now, but my boy Kev, he was actually sitting next to me. And he's like, I'm going to drop it right now. He's like, I already got my credit card pre-entered. I'm dropping another donation. You're taking this bike home. I'm like, boy, Kev, I mean, what you want, but also, relax. You don't jump the gun. Let's see what happens. But yeah, I really should shout. We're shouting out companies, but and BC Customs was a huge part of this, and Kevin and Black Candy. Do you guys know who Kevin is?
Oh, I know who Kevin is. We've talked about Kevin a time or three.
Oh man! But I'm telling you, him, he is just, he is earth salt. He's just a great person, great human being. The amount of support I get from him. He started as I guess I'll just say a super fan, right? He always jokes around that he was a super fan, but he's like my brother now. Like, there's no fandom, it's just family. So it's pretty awesome. But yeah, he was very much on board. But yeah, man, the winning the thing and then giving it away. So yeah, I don't know how much I'm going to give to Folds of Honor Minnesota. I'm going to give as much as I can, which will, there's a number there that cost me. As soon as that number's hit, everything else extra. Unless we don't hit very much of that number, then I'm going to just eat some of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Family does that to you, right? I mean, with motorcycles, you just get new family members every time you go to a motorcycle meet. And
I say motorcycle is like bad food. How often do you taste something bad? You're like, oh, this is bad. Taste it, right? That's motorcycling. All right, it's like it's like bad food. As soon as you try it, you're like, hey, you guys all got to try it. Let's try it. Try that new challenge.
Gotcha. So what's the dates and everything? So we just we'll get that cleared and everything. It's a what auction is it? What's it called again?
The Mecum Motorcycle Auction. It's the biggest motorcycle auction in the world, and it's happening at the South Hotel. Something like that. But MecumMotorcycle.com. Mecum Motorcycle or Mecum Auction, because they do cars, but this is specifically motorcycles. They'll have all the details. The dates are the 30th to the 2nd. Yep. But the bike's going across on the 31st.
31st. Gotcha.
So January 30th to February 2nd. And I just found out today, the One Moto Show, it's usually in like Portland, I believe.
Yes, that's correct.
They're actually going to be in Las Vegas the following week.
Oh, nice.
So, maybe roll in on the 31st and then stay an extra couple days and get 2 events out of it. I don't know. It's an idea.
It's Vegas. What the hell?
I've never been there, so that'd be great for me.
Well, there's plenty of stuff to do out there.
yeah.
No problem at all.
Yeah.
So we're talking about motorcycling here, and I saw just a few minutes ago that you just posted a new video 2 hours ago about little things that you've done to Spicy Candy. Let's talk about your bike for a minute.
Oh, man.
Because you've gone through a couple of them, my brother.
Yeah. So I've been fortunate. This is my second Power Plus platform that I've had. I started with a 2020 Indian Challenger, white smoke, dark horse. I can't remember how many miles I put on it. I think I put like 38 or 39,000 miles on it. And when the Pursuits came out, I literally bought it, well, mostly for the trunk, to be honest with you, because my daughter she rides with me a lot, and she really wanted that trunk when she saw that. And then the little things like the electronic preload suspension, the hard lowers, and I ride a lot. So I went ahead and just jumped on it with the Pursuit. But yeah, so now I have a Pursuit Icon, 2022 Pursuit Icon. I just crossed over 38,000 miles on it. I have 18,000 miles on a big bore kit. So, I did a big bore kit at 10,000 miles. Of course I did, because I don't know. I don't know why I did something crazy, but it was worth it. A lot of smiles.
That was the Mad Monkey tune, right?
Yep. So Revolution Performance makes the 112 kit.
Yes.
And then depending who you go to, they recommend certain sets of cams or, whatever. But specifically, I'll talk Mad Monkey because that's who I used, and I know him. And I'll tell you a little bit why I chose him. I became part of his team. He actually owns a bike on King of the Baggers. And he reached out to me and he goes, "Hey, I'm actually short of hand. Do you want to help out?" And this is in Minnesota. He came to Minnesota and it was in 21. And I said, "Yeah, I would love to do that. I love King of the Baggers." And I quickly learned like a master of this stuff. And I can't remember what broke on the bike or if it was wrecked or what, but I watched him in a parking lot under a tent basically rip apart his motor and rebuild it. And I'm like, if that's what you can do right before you go out, run 150 miles an hour, what can you do in a shop that's, climate controlled and very stationary? So that's what set me over. I also met the Revolution Performance management team at the time. And I just really started going like, wow, Revolution Performance makes all these big bore kits. So then part of Mad Monkey, they're really strict about like what clutches you run. And so it's kind of like their whole kit. They're like, we're not going to build you a bike and then let you burn up your clutch, so they have a whole ordeal. If you ever want to do it, if anybody's ever interested in it, and I don't get anything for this, I cut deals for people all the time, but Fish 10 will get you 10% off his whole entire website, including if you're prepaying a big bore kit.
All right.
So $160.
So here's what you've got here. You've got 2 Thunderstroke riders, and then you've got 1 Power Plus rider. That's Chris over there. So I've been trying to talk him into getting that Mad Monkey kit for a little bit now.
Yeah.
But Thunderstrokes, you very rarely get on one of those. You have, but it's rare.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, so I don't have anything against them. I came from sport bike world, so a higher revving, horsepower kind of world. And then I went to Victory, which identifies very much like the Power Plus. Those Freedom 106 motors, they're very similar, operating their overhead cams. They have the same little ticks, no lope, right? Same thing, all the opposite of everybody that loves Thunderstrokes. Thunderstrokes are a very torquey motor, and they don't love to be revved out. They're fine, but they don't love to be revved out.
They really don't.
So it is hard when you have those loves, the people that have Thunderstrokes, because then they get on ours and they're like, why do I hear this ticking?
Yes.
It's just the valve train underneath you. So
The 116 on mine, God rest Bella's soul, that thing would run like a scalded dog. Of course, all the work I did on it just got me to the point where your Pursuit Challenger is stock. So,
It does sound good though. It did sound good.
Yeah. So, hey, Chris, that's something down the line you think about, man.
Oh, no.
I will say this, and I mean, Indian Motorcycle probably would not love that I said this, but if you were on the fence and you wanted performance, this is just true story. And there's a lot of people, I've told them this privately, I'll just say it publicly. If you're going to go to the point where you're thinking about like getting cams for your Power Plus, the amount of labor extra is not a lot to do a big bore kit, where you might as well, if you're going to drop the motor out the bike, you might as well just drop it. Drop it once, do the big bore, unless you can cut a deal with your dealership where it's all under warranty or something, and then you get like stage 2 cams through Indian. That's fine, but then if you ever decide to change, the only upgrade from there is a big bore kit, so you're going to end up paying labor twice. So warranty versus non-warranty, but labor is the most expensive part of the whole thing. Is you got to drop the whole bike. Not only do you drop it, you have to put the bike on 2 inches, lift it, just drop the motor out long enough, because they're solid cam covers. So you got to be able to pull them straight off, and at that point, you almost just lift the bike off the freaking motor.
But the bottom line is, what is your numbers again? Everybody wants to know the numbers.
Yeah, so on my specific one is 130 horsepower, 135 feet-pounds of torque. But I mean, I've ran 150s before, like walked around them with a trunk and a passenger. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's dyno is a little different.
Bingo. But yes, it's still streetable, because I remember the Mad Monkey series that you said that it's got to be streetable for me to ride with my daughter. And they made it so where you can take it and hot rod it, but you still have enough style that you can ride with Minnow.
Yeah, and you know, I rode did you see the video I rode? I can't remember. It was a road glide, and I think it was a 131 or 5, and it had like 165 feet-pounds of torque.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it was a very sparkly bike. Cool bike, great bike, right? Brakes, traction, super fun. But if I had my daughter or my wife on the back of it, and it was dicey conditions, that'd be nerve-wracking. You know, I mean, because bikes can get away from you.
Yes.
So there's like a fine line, right? Like, you want this power, but yet you got to know everything, you know? And I never take it out of sport mode. That's probably stupid too. I probably should fix that. But.
And I promised my wife that I would never put mine in sport mode. And I never have.
Don't do it. You're not going back.
Yeah. Well, that's all right. I am getting another one down the road.
Do you know what you're going to get?
I don't know yet. It's still under discussion.
They actually have the Elite back here. You need to go buy the Elite.
Yeah, but
it's a brand new.
If I buy that Elite, I got to go back to work. So I don't know if I want to do that yet.
Is it a Challenger 24 Elite with the red wheels?
No. This is the new Roadmaster.
Yeah, Roadmaster Elite.
Oh, it is beautiful though.
I haven't seen one.
Oh man, we can't take a camera over there.
Yes, I can do it. Yeah, I can do it.
Aaron,
let's do it.
Aaron, what number is it again? 126?
196.
196 out of 300.
Okay.
1 second.
Are we going to take a camera over there?
Yeah, he's taking the camera over there, man.
Yeah,
All right, let's do it. Let's show the world.
I can't believe that you, the Indian ambassador, has not seen one yet.
I've seen one, but not in person. I mean, I got pictures on my phone.
Yeah, he's going to take me off camera and take this mini cam over there to look at it.
So you're an Indian. You're an Indian ambassador, huh?
Tell him to go enlarge the camera on the screen so everybody can see, because you're like the size of a dime.
I lost weight when I was in rehab, dude.
So while you guys are looking at that, it's like in my house.
All right, this is live. They can't hear me.
All right, cool.
Oh.
Okay, yeah. So this is live. His mic's not on. I think it's some kind of phone access, but there it is, right there.
How the heck does he do all this stuff?
Because
Is
he's a
it brown?
techno wizard. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's blue, right?
Yeah, me neither.
I got no clue.
Oh, it looks blue. It's blue. It's supposed to be blue, isn't it?
Actually,
Yeah, it is.
It is.
It
I think
is.
it's the reflection of the floor made it look brown from back there.
Yeah, it's
Hey,
like a
is this-
it's like a navy on top, and then it's like a black metallic stripe through it all.
Okay, so the black candy probably
Yep.
color that they came out with last year. And that seat, man, that's the first time an Indian has came out with a seat like that. Does it look as good in person as it looks in camera? Tell them to slow down a little.
Slow down a little. He said, do it again.
That seat's unique. Like it's the only one like it, and I kind of describe it as like a mix between the Roadmaster Classic seat and the Pursuit seat. It's like somewhere in between as far as the shape of it, but the seat cover itself is completely unique. I think it looks great.
This one's actually heated and cooled.
Yes.
Correct. Yeah.
Right.
And the pattern is hands down over my old seat.
Wow. So, and that is heated cooled. Really? That is very
Yeah.
different than their other ones.
It is. It looks much to me the heated and cooled seat that we all know that comes on the Roadmasters. I find that its seat profile is a little bit sharp edged, and you can feel it in between your thighs when you put your feet on the ground.
Yeah.
This seat, I feel like, is just a comfort on a whole different level.
Wow.
So that's another thing, too. I've been bugging you to come down this way. You need to come check out my dealership down here.
You
On
know,
one
I've
of
been
your
hearing
road
about
trips.
how nice this dealership is.
It's quite nice. And like I said, Aaron's down here. We got a bunch of very knowledgeable guys. And like I said, not to get into my personal situation, but yes, my bike was totaled. The ACV was very, very over and above fair. Why? Because this dealership kept every record from it coming out of the crate, me buying it, every single thing that I did here, Indian and aftermarket, they installed, and they made sure I got every dime out of it.
Yeah. It does look like a freaking beautiful dealership.
So, like I said, you and Kevin and the rest of your crew need to stop by on a road trip down here.
Well, that's been being discussed. I've been talking about doing like a little camping series for a couple of days and going that direction would be good. I got a friend down in Tennessee,
You go
yeah,
to Red River Gorge right there, man.
George, yeah.
The natural bridge we were talking about last night.
yeah. I'm going to try to ride a motorcycle on it for a picture though.
You got to get up on the
Oh
lift,
my,
though.
yeah,
Have a hard time getting up there.
yeah. Woo.
Is it? Would it really be that hard?
If you
Yeah,
got
I
a
don't
chopper,
know.
Yeah, it'd be tough.
if you got somebody that has a chopper, and Indian can probably do it. They probably love to do something like that. Yeah. You just rent one, lift it up there. You get on it on top of that natural bridge because it's not a small bridge. It is huge. So it's nice.
But you said people. You said people were on it, right?
Yeah, but
yeah.
we can shut it down for an hour. We can do
Yeah, I'm
that.
gonna look at it real quick.
We're sorry, somebody got sick up there, throwing up. We're gonna clean it up. Hold on for a second. We'll do
Did you
something.
say called Red Roar? What'd you say it was?
Red River
River
Gorge.
Gorge.
Yeah. And it's called the Natural Bridge. I do have a video that's supposed to be coming out with all that. I just got to take the time. I just don't have the patience to sit down with all this holiday, stuff going on right now. So hopefully I'll get it out within the next couple weeks, and you'll see that video. And it's a pretty nice ride out there, and it's the bridge is pretty cool, and I mean it's really really cool.
Yeah, the ride was the fun part on that trip.
I mean, Les almost lost his bike though.
Oh yeah, in the gravel parking lot.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It was going to take off on me.
Yeah, we ate at a restaurant. I can't remember what it was called, and his bike. We were all on a uphill, and it was gravel, and we didn't know it was gravel at the time. So we had reservations there, so we went head up there. We parked all our bikes together, and we were trying to push them back because it's a little bit slight of a grade, and the gravel just kept on sliding underneath our feet. And I finally got down. And Les was going up, and he got off his bike for a second, but the kickstand and the bike, everything started moving behind him. It was
the
crazy.
kickstand's folded up.
Yeah.
And I almost lost it, but we saved it.
Yeah, saved it.
So, but yeah.
It's a beautiful bike. He's got a beautiful bike. So
Any of you guys ever ride a Harley?
Oh yeah.
I have, yeah.
I've had 3 of
Okay,
them.
So you know how they have their little kickstands. I forget what they're actually
terrible.
They don't call them
Jiffy stand.
Jiffy
Yeah,
stands,
so
right.
yeah, so on their on the big cruiser bikes, at least on my street gliding, that the Ultra that I had, when you put it on the side stand and you got off, it would roll forward about 3 inches.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it takes your breath away the first
Yeah.
time you ever deal with it.
Yeah.
It's kind of scary.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
like it.
yeah. The dealer actually made it a point to show me that. He goes, "I don't want you to run up and grab it and then push it over the other way, thinking it's going to fall over, because it's not. Just expect that it's going to roll forward about 3 inches." So they were nice enough to tell me that up front.
Listen, you said the first time. I've had about 100 heart attacks, and they're never my bike. Okay. Did you guys ever see the video of the bike that caught on fire?
Man, you got a
The
beautiful
Harley that caught on
ship here,
fire.
man. I gotta say.
No, I
haven't
haven't
seen
No,
that video.
I don't think I caught that one.
Oh, so this bike, we'll have to look it up. But there's a bike that caught on fire, and it was in gear. It was a Harley, and it shorted out the starter. So the starter,
wow.
I think I have seen this. It was on its side going around in a circle, or on the
and it
on
just
the side
went around
stand
in
or
a
something.
circle.
Yeah.
After
that's
that, I'm
crazy.
like, hey, this is
wow.
maybe the best kickstand ever made. Okay, maybe they did it right, because after that, you got to have all the confidence in the world, because that bike just sit there and did it. Hey guys, everybody hit thumbs up, so that way this can be found. Make sure to hit thumbs up. I mean, you guys went way out of your way. You're at the dealership. Your dealership is supporting you staying open. It's 7:30, right, at night for you guys?
Yes, it is.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So come on, we got to hit some thumbs up. That's all. It's important.
Yeah, and some subscribes. And then this guy,
Yeah.
he's got a scooter, and he's riding like 30 miles north in the dark.
It's only 50.
Yeah,
Yeah.
46
50
degrees.
miles? It's 50 miles?
Yeah, it's 50 miles.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
You have one of them scooters that do like 30, or one of them scooters
It
that do
goes
like
70
60?
miles per hour. Yeah, go ahead.
It does about 68.
Yeah.
He's checked this on GPS.
He's
And
got a
then
big.
how
Yeah, go ahead.
how cold is it? What's the
Right
temp-
now,
you
it's
guys-
in the 40s right
yeah,
now.
it's about
but
43, somewhere like that.
last week it was in the teens in the morning. But I do this every winter. I'll ride like most of the winter, pretty much every day. And I mostly do it on my little scooter, but it's just the bike that I like to do it on, because it's the bike that I don't mind dropping.
And you have a big group, right? The competition?
Yeah, this year I'm doing it with a competition. Four other guys are involved, and the winner, if we can all make it to January 1st, the winner gets a set of tires that the losers have to buy. So,
Yeah. And they keep
That's
track of
pretty
how much they ride every day.
yep.
And that's
So
who-
are they going to buy your scooter tires? Or are they going to buy you a set of
Any
tires?
tires we want. That was the deal. Was in any tire. We all do a bunch of track days. We ride on racetracks. So tires are like the biggest expense to doing track days. So we'll probably end up buying a set of race tires. But
Okay.
Hey, one thing I just want to interrupt here. If anybody does have a question, please stay at the end, and we'll try to get everybody's question in. I know there's a lot out there already, and we're not kind of responding to them, but believe me, we're looking at them and we're starring them, and we'll answer some of these questions at the very end. And I'm gonna tell you right now, the way we're going right now, we're gonna have to do a part 2.
Hey, Fish, you up for that part 2?
Hey, when it's nice, you do it twice, baby. I'm always
That's
You
right.
know that's right, dude.
Because we got a lot of stories. Because we got to talk about India. We got to talk about all the trips that you've done in Mexico and stuff like that. There's no way we're going to be able to fit this in another 20 minutes.
Well, I want to learn about the ambassadorship for Indian Motorcycle.
Yeah, go
That's
ahead.
what
Yeah,
I
go
want.
ahead,
I want
yeah.
to know about that. How
Yeah.
how did you get into that? And what's what do you think of that?
Okay, so it's an open application process, and year one they did it for like 10 people. I think they took 10 ambassadors that year, and you just apply. You tell them kind of who you are, obviously all your socials, and anyway, I got a denial letter year one, so no big deal. But also I'm not a quitter, so. And okay, I'm gonna be a little bit more honest in this. So I was butthurt as hell. I was like, man, like, at the time, I don't know if any of you guys know, but I was doing a podcast pretty often back then called Indian Rider Radio. My boy Curtis and I were on it.
Yep.
I felt like, I've always loved Indian. And so I thought I had a good platform. So when I was denied, I was kind of like a little butthurt, which a lot of people, like everybody but Tim probably, right?
Hey, Fish, I got one of those denial letters. I was really
Yeah,
butthurt. It's
hey.
like, with my history, and I'm on a Indian Roadmaster Elite, come on, you couldn't take me, you jerks.
Yeah. So truth be told, I was a little bit butthurt. So when year 2 came out, I was like, I'm not going to do it. I honestly, I was like, it's like asking the hot girl out twice. The first time you don't want to do it, you feel like rejection is tough.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
and anyway, I'll be honest. What happened is I probably got 100 people that just started sending me the applications, and they're like, "Hey, Fish, you need to apply for this. This is something that is right up your alley." And now, granted, this was a year later. And my YouTube channel got bigger. The podcast was bigger. My presence on Instagram and all that was bigger, quite a bit bigger. Anyway, and so I was like, hey, my people want me to do it. Let's do it. I'm for the people. So I did it, and I got lucky. And they picked me, and I'm one of like 28 or 26 or something. They got like 2 in Canada, and then the rest here in the United States. And yeah, last year they didn't hold application process. It was a closed program. And this year, my understanding is it's probably going to be closed again. But I don't have my letter for renewal, so I don't know if what the program's going on for next year.
Too many spinning tires.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, I think about it every time. I'm
Well,
done.
big-
Not beforehand, obviously.
Well, to be honest with you, I mean, I've went through that list, and I'm trying to go through, their social media. You and Finesse are pretty much the most active that I watch, and I think everybody in this room actually watches. The rest of them people on there, yeah, they're good. I mean, Instagram, so I guess they got a couple of things there and there, but not YouTube and Facebook and that kind of stuff. I mean, you got the most. Go ahead.
Come on, you're not a fan of Ricky Not So Martin?
So
I don't
Ricky
know.
does amazing. Hang on. Ricky does amazing videos.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
He's a very busy guy, and he does a lot of stuff. But for YouTube specifically, yeah, Finesse, Bearded Bobber, myself, Ricky does get videos out, here and there. Lenore does some YouTube videos here and there. But yeah, a lot of the people are very centric to Instagram. And the nice thing about this program and is there was no rules. There was rules, but the rules were we're supposed to be our own people. So just because Finesse and Fish do something doesn't mean Bearded Bobber or Ricky Not So Martin or whoever has to do something. And everybody does things differently, like
Sure.
some of the people go moto camping. I've never done it, and so it's not everybody doesn't do the same things. And that was what it was. They've always said, hey, ride whatever you ride and be yourself. They never really dictated anything. There is a no burnout clause, but of course I only do that in closed courses and in Mexico. So my videos, those are professional stunt riders on closed courses in Mexico.
Yeah,
So
you,
yeah, in wheelies, you're not supposed to do those either. Again, closed courses, Mexico.
So you wanted to be the ambassador. What do you find most rewarding about it? You finally attained it. What's the reward? What do you get from it?
So they help us get to events, and then like as a content creator, I get some inside information once in a while. They help me with content. So that is valuable to me, right? Other people might just say, hey, I want to be the title of Indian ambassador. Maybe it just goes with some other titles that they have, right? Whatever that is. And but me, I'm a content creator, and I do things across a lot of platforms. And that's one thing that Indian and I have had conversations with. I said, some of the benefits of this is I want help getting content,
Yeah, sure.
And so that is a big thing. The events thing's pretty cool. And honestly, when these events happen and I get to roll in there and they help me get there, and maybe I wouldn't have been there without them, and then all of a sudden we do a giant IMRG ride with 500 people, like that's an experience that maybe I would not have had if I wasn't an ambassador. So I do appreciate those. And a lot of times I go there and I find a table, I don't know anybody, and I sit at it. And that's the one I sit at. You know, if Kev's with me, I'll bring Kev with me, you know, or whoever the one or two people are with me. But yeah, that's how I try to do it. That's just me. Everybody does their own thing. There's a couple ambassadors. You probably have seen their work, but don't know it's them because they purposely don't like to put their face out on social media. And so like if you're like FTR or Chief, there's some ambassadors that they purposely stay out of the camera because their day jobs and everything else. So it's easy to recognize this pretty face because I always have.
Oh, I started watching I think, right when I got my Indian, because I wanted to do some history and you came up. So, and then I started watching Finesse, and then I Robert, Be the Boss of your motorcycle. Yeah, I started watching all them, and then I started watching some Harley people because then I was like, I better train my motorcycle in because this new one's like. But then I said, no, I'm not going to do that. But I'm glad you're out there because I mean I learned a lot on some of your videos, you know. So. And
I appreciate that. Those are kind words, and I can't always just believe Kevin. Kevin, I see he's in I think Kevin's in here, my boy's in here, so I appreciate you, Kev, for being here. Finesse is in here. I'm looking real quick. Finesse says that he saw the Elite in Daytona. I wasn't there for that.
I watched his video. Yeah, he did, yeah.
Yeah, Finesse is the shit. He's a good dude. My boy Leaving Hope is in here. That's the guy that does my intro music. Okay. That his band is Leaving Hope. They actually kicked off Sturgis Motorcycle Rally at the Buffalo Chip. They were the first band on the main stage. That was amazing. Who else is in here? Jeff Bacchus, that was at the beginning. Who knows if he's still in here? So yeah, man, it's pretty cool. I've got to meet some cool people. You know, I'll tell you something that's kind of fun.
Okay.
That maybe you have. I like it because I start geeking out about it. So we go to some of these corporate events, or not corporate, but we go to some of these events where corporate is at, and I get to meet some of the engineers.
Yeah.
And listen, I'll tell somebody when something sucks. Okay.
Sure.
Or why, right? Like why? So I put we're talking about the heated cooled seat. So they have a heated cooled seat for the Challenger, and I don't know if they ever changed it, but I put like 15,000 miles on one. And I never really loved it. The function of it worked fine, but it was hard. You could feel the box under the rider after like 700 miles. Now, granted, that's a lot of miles in a day. And at that point, everything feels a little bit uncomfortable. But it was pretty interesting because they actually, an engineer, he pulled some strings and was able to swap it out for me so they could run through and look at it because, you know, they do testing, but did they do 15,000 miles of testing, you know, of a 230-pound man sitting on it? You know, it varies, right? Who knows? So that was kind of cool that they did that. But those are kind of fun things. You can ask questions. Hey, tell me how this works. Why do the freaking windshield motors always stop working, right? Like those are questions I've asked. And like, well, it's not the motor, it's the gearing. Okay, so why? Why does it break? And they're like, well, we thought it'd be better to let the gearing break than have it just sit there and overheat and possibly catch on fire, right? So I thought they made it a purpose weak point. That's a true thing.
So the plastic piece is in there on purpose?
I think they left it the weak point on purpose. Since then, all the new gearing have a bead, like I wouldn't call it a bead, but maybe like a it's still plastic, but then it has copper, like a copper part of it to strengthen it.
Because Davison Audio has the metal piece for it, and a lot of people have replaced it.
Absolutely. And yep, that is very true. Davison Audio, Steve makes that. Steve, what's his middle last name? Anyway, yeah, it's made by one guy. It's that billet aluminum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I've seen it.
So I have it in mind. Like all transparency. But also, I'm gonna be honest with you, I've never had mine break, and I probably use the windshield more than I use the throttle. Okay, so all these Harley guys that say the windshield is a gimmick, hey, it's not a gimmick. On the freeway, I might have it all the way up. I get in town, I'm putting it all the way down. I'm finding my sweet spots. I use that freaking windshield more than the throttle. So, and I have never had one.
I do
I've
too.
seen it
Preach.
break.
We all do. But the thing is, though, is the one thing that I have heard, don't do it when you're getting on the expressway. If you do it before you get on it, it's fine. But don't do it while you're on the expressway doing 85 miles an hour and then try and raise it. That'll get it snapped.
So I do that shit all the time.
Yeah, but you got the metal piece.
Well, I do now, but I did it before. Because I'll tell you the reason why. Is I like a little wind, but then I'll be going down 80, 90 miles an hour, and all of a sudden I'll make a decision. Oh, I should probably vlog this. Well, I got to get rid of the wind.
Yeah.
So it's not that I make the decision to be counterproductive. It's just that I'm trying to cut wind for audio purposes, right? But then what do I do right when I'm done? I lower it, get some more air, and then 5 minutes later I'm trying to talk again. Yeah, there you go, Steve Kovac. And then what do I do? Raise it right back up because I got a talking problem. As you guys can see, I don't think
I'll tell you what. So let's change a little bit of course here because I want to get one of your major trips in there. Which one you want to talk about? The Mexico, the latest one, or the Indian trip?
We could. I don't know. I'll let you guys choose. Which one is more interesting to you guys?
Probably India.
India
is like
definitely the Himalaya. You riding up the top of there and all that stuff.
That's crazy.
Although you're not done with the Rocky Point series yet, I don't think.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a finale for that.
No, I'm not even in Mexico yet. So hang on, I barely made it. I've been home like a year and like 3 months, and I'm only halfway through my India series, which I'm gonna fast forward the second half of that. What's up, Keith? What's going on, man? Hit subscribe, thumbs up, all the good stuff, everybody. Keith is my guy. I was just saying I might head to his house this summer for some camping. So
Okay.
I was just talking about you. But I'll tell you this. So India was a dream of mine. I always wanted to do it. And it's organized chaos. Has anybody ever got to ride out of United States at all?
Canada.
No, when I went to Ireland, Scotland, there ain't no way, man. Everything's in reverse. All I had to do was forget once. No.
India was in reverse too, and so I kept going like, go to the left, go to the left, go to the left, stay to the left, stay. I just tell myself that, stay to the left, stay to the left. Yeah, it was crazy, and I really don't know what to say about it without making this a 4-hour podcast.
Well, it's gonna be part 2, so you can just say, leave a
Let's talk
cliffhanger
about
at the very
Mexico.
end.
Let's talk about Mexico.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, we'll switch to Mexico.
Okay, so Mexico. So I hear this rumor, and it was, hey, have you ever heard of Rocky Point Rally? And I was like, no, I've never heard of that. And somebody goes, well, Adam Sandoval is going to the Rocky Point Rally. And I'm like, again, I don't know what that is. So I look up Adam Sandoval, and he calls it the Sturges of Mexico. And I'm like, well, you kind of, Keith says I live a boring life. So, so Sturges of Mexico, like, I know what Mexico, in Mexico is like. I want to know what Mexico's like. And you know what? It just one thing got to another. I met Adam a couple of times, and so I was like, you know what? Screw it. Let's go support somebody. And I got like something right here. And so that's what we did. So I got lucky enough. My boy Bob from BC Customs decided he wanted to go. This dude, I don't think he's watching. I think he's working. This dude, he's been to Canada like once. He don't even, I don't know. He doesn't even like go all over the United States. This dude doesn't travel. Culture change for him is a big deal. And I don't know what got into him that he was like, let's go to Mexico. But we ended up flying to California. Indian Motorcycle helped us get a couple bikes. So shout out to the Brand Amp and Indian Motorcycle for that. Because I told him I wanted to rep the brand, and and go to a Harley Davidson thing, go to a motorcycle worldwide thing on Indians. So they helped us get that. We rode to Phoenix, met up with Adam and like 200 people, and Cruzy, and I'm trying to think of the other guys that was there.
But they got you a 24 Elite and an Icon, right?
24 Elite and a Limited.
And a
So
Limited.
the red Limited, yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, they didn't even like skimp out. Like they gave us, and they asked me like, well, what are you looking for? I'm like, well, we're both challenger guys, but beggars can't be choosers. Just tell me what I'm going to be on, so I know how to pack. That's all I, I was going to wear the same underwear and the same shoes if I was on a scout, right? But if I'm on a bagger, well, then I'll take an extra bag. So anyway, we ended up going down Phoenix, rode down to Puerto Piasco, something like that. Anyway, the Rocky Point area, and by the way, it's 10,500 people on like 2 blocks. Wow. It is freaking insane, and it is a party. And there's a lot of talk about going back because my understanding is I missed the crazy day because I left a day early. So there's that. So maybe we all make a big deal out of it and just everybody go next year. It'll be kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So
never been.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, and this is kind of a odd question. So if I'm out of line, just say so. You're used to running your own stuff.
Whoa. So you don't really think I'm sensitive, do you?
Huh?
You don't really think I'm sensitive or something, do you? You think it's really an out of line question?
Judging from our IM conversations, no. But
okay.
We're on video, so there you go.
We're on public. Okay. Fair enough.
So
hit me up.
You're used to running your own thing and doing this and doing that. How did you feel riding along with Adam Sandoval? Which, come on, let's face it, he's one of the big dogs in this world, So
Dude,
how'd you feel riding along with Adam?
Dude, you know what? It was fun watching a master work, seeing that. He has a thing, right? He has a crew. I mean, he does a lot of it himself, so don't misunderstand me. He does a lot of it himself, but he has people helping him. And watching it. Matter of fact, I don't know if you paid close attention. If anybody paid close attention, I actually got footage of him getting footage of me in my most recent Rocky Point video. Yeah, and so I thought that was kind of cool. But he's a down to earth dude. He's just one of us. He's doing what I do, just on a giant scale and then better. Obviously probably does better content. But yeah, it was pretty interesting. And there was a few times where Bob's like, dude, aren't you going to go talk to Adam? And I'm like, look like he's talking enough.
Yeah, Chris and I had a chance to watch Adam work on his Great American Tour. And you're right, he does have a crew around him. But yes, he is very down to earth and very approachable.
Yeah.
I just he's bigger. He's bigger in person.
He's a really big dude.
Yeah, I got some pictures of me and him together, and he's just slightly bigger than me.
Yeah.
I'm 6'3". He's 6'4", I think. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I hung out with Traveling Tall. I felt small next to that dude too. I'm like,
yeah. Now, see, I'm going to bring up a real sore subject here. I remember the Sturgis video where he got you in a room with about 8 Harley content guys, and it was you and one other guy. I was so mad, and I like Traveling Tall. Good Christian man. He's a good guy, but I kind of felt you got ganged up on, dude.
A little bit.
Yeah, it's like, all right. Let's do part 2 of this.
I think we ended that with the best zinger when I just, when people are hating on the bike, right? This was specific to Indian Challenger, and I don't know if you guys saw it or anybody in the chat group saw it, but there was a lot of hate towards Indian Challenger. I'm specifically saying that bike because I was the one that was referred to at the time, and it was the common things like no aftermarket. I'm like, well, okay, but you can give 5-6 different seats from Indian Motorcycle Corporate. How many seats do you need?
I watched that one. I remember it now.
Yeah. And anyway, so I got him at the end when I finally said, I went around the room and I said, have you rode an Indian Challenger? No. Have you rode an Indian Challenger? No. Have you rode an Indian Challenger? No. And I get to Tall and I say, have you rode an Indian Challenger? And he goes, yes. And And I go, and was the first thing you thought is it needed more power? He goes, well, no. Did you think, oh, I need a better suspension? He goes, no. Did you think, oh, I needed to brake better? No. What was your first thing? And he goes, I felt too metric.
I heard there's a rumor that he's got one in his garage, though.
He does still. Traveling Tall does have one in his garage. That is confirmed. He don't ride it no more, but he's got one in his garage.
I'm gonna tell you though, Traveling Tall is a good dude. I
Yes,
really
he
like
is.
him. And you know what? And just for facts, when him and I reached out to each other, and it was in Daytona, not Sturgis, but when we reached out, he said, "Hey, I'm at so and so Harley Davidson. Do you want to come hang out?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll come hang out." I mean, I'm that dumb thing that goes, I still want that piece of cheese, even though it looks like it's inside of a trap. I'm just not scared of him.
Got set up.
So
Got set
I don't,
up.
I think Tall was very, very honest and truthful when you asked him. He wasn't hating on anything really. He was trying to be like a middle guy. But yeah, it was a little one-sided. My boy, that was Larry Marshall from V Twin Blog that was with me that day.
Yeah, and you know what?
he was
I wasn't speaking on Tall very much per se, but the rest of the panel, because those guys were like diehard. Like you said, you ever been on a Challenger?
Mm-hmm.
No. Well, then what are you talking about? You don't know.
Yeah, I can say I've rode both, and you can't. So why? How can we feed your opinion over our opinion? You know. But yeah, so that was an interesting one, and it is interesting. I did get a lot of heat from not heat. I got a lot of hey, they felt like I was kind of put up, but I don't think that was Tall's intention. I think it just went that way. We're all passionate about motorcycles, and some people are a little more narrow visioned than others, but they still have the passion, right? They care. So whatever, I'll take it. I'll wear it. So I don't know. If you guys go watch it, tell me what you think.
I watched it, and I thought that they were trying to sell you a Harley Davidson before you left the building. And you actually survived, so I'm happy for you. So
Yeah.
I mean, there was a lot of pressure on that because I seen this a couple times. You were getting a little frustrated. Look like so.
Chris has got his own horror story about the Harley Davidson dealer here in town.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And that's why he's on an Indian Challenger.
Yeah. Every time I walk in that door, they lock the doors. They keep me in there for like 6 hours, and I keep saying no. It's like crazy.
Yeah.
So
Keith said he just saw Tall a couple weeks ago. Yeah, Keith saw that video, and I remember him calling me later and saying, I really got to talk to you about, because it was Jamie, the owner of Moonshine Harley, was one of the guys sitting there.
Yep.
So, and by the way, since then, Jamie's reached out to me. You know, he's been very nice and whatever. But I should take what I need to do. So I've kind of done some stupid shit to my bike. Is I've performanced it out, but then I went ahead and threw all this Davidson audio on it, and so now I'm like heavy again, and I got a little anti aerodynamics with them lowers. But I need to go down to a racetrack and show some people what we got.
Yep.
So
I was with Adam. I actually rode with him. Like I know I'm gonna go try to circle back there a little bit. I did like 2 or 3 days on his caravan, and I never rode with a group ever before. And I took my wife, and she's sitting on the back, and he's the nicest guy in the world. And literally, I got a ticket in Louisville for going across the bridge, and it cost me like $75 because they got these cameras, and I guess it's a toll bridge, didn't know it. And this is like 2 years ago, Connie, and I just got on the bike. I mean, I just started riding, and it was just crazy. But anyway, every place we went, sat down with people in the hotel, wherever we stayed, at the dealerships. I mean, it was just a great experience. But I've never rode like 90 miles per hour because he rides fast too, though, and I'm sure you do too. So, and down in Mexico, it's got to be crazy
On a closed course.
on a closed course.
yeah.
But I can't wait till you come down to this dealership. It'd be great.
Yeah, I'm excited. So remind me real quick, what's the dealership? Just so you're reminding me,
Yeah, go ahead, Aaron.
reminding everybody else too.
Indian and Northern Kentucky, and we're like just south of Cincinnati, Ohio. So if you're planning on coming through to maybe hit up like the Smoky Mountains or any of that, a lot of folks from up north hit us up along the way.
Okay. And so you work there?
Yeah, I'm one of the sales folks here, and
Okay.
so we've been an Indian dealer here for what now 7 years. We were Victory before that, so we've been with the brand for quite a while.
So as soon as they shut down Victory, basically you swapped new signs on the doors and a little
Yep.
bit of remodeling, probably.
Yep, that's correct. Yeah, we had to do the Indian build out and get it all set up, and of course phase Victory out. I think we still have the Victory sign on the outside. We had like an agreement with that, but it's coming down soon, I think. Unfortunately.
Yeah. And you're gonna expand too.
Yep.
Yeah, we got an expansion going on.
Really. It's I give you guys props, man. Like a lot of people are struggling right now, dealerships across the nation, Harley and Indian, and you guys are able to expand. So good for you. That's just a testament to show how good your dealership is and probably your employees. Obviously I've never been there, and I hope to make it out. You guys will have to hit me up on like a big event you're having, and
For sure.
if I can make it, I'll use some of those Indian motorcycle funds they send me. They give me they give me a couple bucks to go travel a little bit, and I'm supposed to stay local, but I'll do the local stuff on my dime. Yeah, I'll use their dime to go to Cincinnati, Ohio, or somewhere else.
Yeah. All right. So it's been about an hour. So you got any more time with you, or you?
Yeah, I got time, bro. We can go a little long. We can go some longer. Yeah, unless you guys are ready to hang it up.
Do we have questions?
Yeah. What
Yeah,
kind
we
of
got
questions?
questions on the.
Comments?
Yeah, Connie. What kind of questions we got here?
They want to know how to put a bid in.
Oh, a bid on the auction. Is it online or is it? Anything about that? I'm sure it probably is.
I'm pretty sure you could bid online. Yeah. Obviously you have to go through Meekum's like pre-bidding process to get qualified. Like I'm sure that you can't just like log in with your,
Make sure you're not a fake account and stuff.
your Hotmail account or something, right? Or AOL, right? Like, oh, here's my AOL account. Let me go bid for $50,000 for a bike. But yeah, I'm sure you could jump through some hoops and bid online, no problem. You should be able to see the bike by the end of the week online. I don't think they have it up yet. They're waiting for me to send them the title. So
Okay. What else you got, Connie?
That was a shout out to Kevin Tatum.
Okay.
He's been on here quite a bit. Finesse has been on here, the Challenger.
Good.
Leaving Hope.
All right. Cool.
Let me see.
Any other questions there, or just that was the one?
Well, that was the main one. They've all been commenting down through here.
Okay. That's cool. And be honest with you, this is kind of like the series of winter therapy. Up here in North, we don't get to ride very much, right?
Well, he's farther north than we are.
Yeah, I know. So bikes are in the garage, and we're like, what can we do? And this is what we do. We have this little podcast, and we talk about what we're going to do next year and that kind of stuff. And I'm hoping to interview a lot of people during January and February, and I'm starting to line people up. Hopefully I'll get Finesse on here. I know I've been talking with him and some other people that you probably know, and I'll start reaching out to them pretty soon, and hopefully get each week have a different interview for everybody. What's that?
Jeff Hawka, forgive me if I'm saying it incorrectly. He wants to know if Mike King still works at the Northern Kentucky dealership.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, Mike King's still here. He's our general manager, so he's like basically a glorified janitor.
I hope he ain't watching.
Well, he'll tell you.
At Raise the Road, he has a question for Fred. He said, what do you think Indian has in store for 2025?
The Indian rep wouldn't even tell us, so we don't even know. Coming from the dealer side of things, it's all kept very hush hush. The Indian rep did hint towards us that three new models coming, and the Indian rep gave us a challenge. She said that if we can guess the models and what's different about them, that we would be winning some sort of prize, but didn't go any further than that. So we don't even know.
That's pretty vague.
That's extremely vague.
Fish, you got anything? Any comments? You got to be careful though.
No, hey, geez.
I'm just kidding.
I haven't got any information on this, but I'll tell you this. One thing that Indians always done was raise the bar. And I think they raised the bar so much that in 2023, Harley Davidson had to release the new ST lines of road glides. And in doing so, it came with 5 ride modes, adjustable front suspension, inverted front suspension. They upped the game of Harley Davidson to a new level. And if it's not this year, which I'd be surprised, I would really hope that their goal is to raise the bar again somehow, as soon as possible. Because they've been matched right now. Granted, it takes the $50,000 bike to match the base model, but that being said, I would like to easily be able to knock it out of the park and say, well, you can't. You're coming up short again, and still. I will say this, a little fun. Maybe people haven't seen this, but motorcycle.com. They found out that Polaris VIN coded a liquid cooled 112 and also a 122 air cooled motor. That's stuff that's been found out, right?
Yes.
And you have to VIN code something before you can actually release it. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I've been hoping that they'd come out something to compete against the Harley 121 and do something different with the Power Plus. I've also been hoping that they'd change the fairing up on the Challenger to allow better access to like T-bars, things like that are real popular going on right now. So that's my hopes, if I could say anything about that coming from a sales side of things.
Yeah, T-bars are real popular. I know that's why the Barnstorm kits, they're pretty big right now. And Indian Motorcycle did have a lot of Forever Rad motorcycle builds at any and all of their events, it seemed like. So that these guys are paying attention. And I'm not saying, for sure they would do something like that, but there's no way they're going to take a bike, 3 or 4 bikes every year for 2 years and bring them to all these shows and not realize, we need to try to get ahead of it. One thing about a lot of not dealers, manufacturers, Yamaha did this bad. They always come like 2 years after a fad is over.
Yeah, they'd miss the boat.
Like, let's do a Yamaha Raider with a fat rear. It's like, dude, that trend's kind of gone, right? And or you hit it for the last year and it's already changing. And I think Polaris and Indian Motorcycle did a pretty good job with the Challenger, calling it a performance bagger right off the bat, right? And it said that's what we have. We have a performance bagger. Even from the Taco Truck Challenge or whatever the heck it was called, where they did all the Road Glide versus Challenger things, all the videos of that, putting a Road Glide. I mean, think about the size of balls that you have to have for Indian Motorcycle to put a brand new Road Glide on the same truck as this bike that nobody knows what it's called as an Indian Challenger. And they would say, let's ride the new Challenger. And it says, but before you ride the Challenger, please ride this Harley Road Glide. Do you know it took like a year after the Challenger to be out that a Harley shop would even be like, oh yeah, I know what a Challenger is. Half the time they'd be like, oh, I never heard of that bike. Liars.
Yeah, because we did that here for a little while because there was a used Road Glide here that you put up against the Challenger.
Anytime I get a Harley, doesn't matter if it's Street Glide, Road Glide, whatever it is, I always offer up the opportunity for folks to ride that versus the comparable Indian. And I don't have to talk any smack about the Harley. Like I don't need to. The Indian is just hands down a better motorcycle, like every time.
I'll tell you, I rode the Challenger CVO, not the ST, or Challenger CVO. I rode the Road Glide CVO, and not the ST, just to be perfectly clear. So variable valve timing, 121, blah blah blah. if you close your eyes, you think really close, man, I might be on my Challenger right now. They did a great job with it. You just got to spend $53,000 to get it.
Yeah, they're getting closer, and I've seen the Road Glide ST in action on a racetrack actually, and it's an impressive bike. So I think it's finally Harley's reached a point where Indian needs to answer back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Fish, let me suggest something here that I'd like to see. So much for the big bikes and everything. I'd like to see something from the Chieftain line that would answer the Lowrider ST, especially with that type of fairing. No offense to the mini fairings that they have on now, but it's not really conducive to adding a stereo or very wind efficient, if you ask me. The engines are comparable, 117 to a 116, but I'd like to see a not unlike an FXTR fairing or maybe the wedge fairing that Clockworks is taking over and developing, but I would like to see a new, bigger fairing on that bike to go against the Lowrider ST. What do you think? Especially if they're coming out with a liquid-cooled one, liquid-cooled engine one. Maybe.
Yeah.
Probably.
So I think that they made the Sport Chief to be that comparable bike already.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's their club model for sure. I just wish they'd lean further into it.
Yes.
You know, like the risers on it are 6-inch. I wish they would have gone 10-inch riser. Like really, really lean into that whole club look.
But they
went very conservative.
Not yet. They have a 10-inch option from OEM.
They do.
Though.
Yeah, they do.
You know, so I think it's one of those things where the option is there if you wanted to go 10-inch. Because the day that bike dropped, they had a 10-inch option. The day.
Yeah.
So, because I remember I was at the release in Austin, Texas, and they talked about it that day, you know, and they did a lot of little things to that. Like a lot of people don't realize the Sport Chief's neck is an inch or half-inch shorter. The degree of the front forks is less, so it's snappier than other Chief models. But anyway, yeah, I think that's the thing. I'll tell you this. I wish they would take a Power Plus and put it in a Springfield.
I'm with you there too.
Ditto.
I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, I take a 112, put it like that, let me slam it down and make a drag bike go stoplight to stoplight in Mexico all day long. That's all I want to do.
We have another question here. Connie, what was that one?
Kevin wants to know if you think they will put a bigger screen on the new Challenger or Limited. Did you already answer that or no?
No, we didn't answer that. I've seen fake images of one. I don't know. Have you heard anything?
I haven't heard anything, but I think that's the way it has to go.
Yeah, it has to be. I think where the cluster is, where the two round ones above the screen, I think that's going to be a bigger screen, and hopefully they cut through a little bit of that. What I'm thinking, okay, cut a little bit of the bottom where you can actually put risers on the Challenger, just like that modification that some people's got out there. That's pretty cool looking. I think that's possible. I've seen some fake images out there. I'm sure a couple people have too.
I think, by the way, I'm just gonna.
I don't know if they're fake.
I think Finesse the Challenger photoshopped some of those.
Oh, he did?
Wasn't that you, Finesse, that photoshopped some of those? Finesse says, fix the infotainment center first and then make it bigger.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Finesse, did you want to call me right now? I'll put you on the podcast. I guess I ghosted him. I guess he tried to call me and something happened.
I probably ghosted him over
Oh, you
here.
probably ghosted him.
I'm sorry. We got one more question, I think.
Yeah, what's that?
They want to know what will be Indian's response to the new Road Glide.
Well, that's what we were talking about.
Okay,
Yeah,
I didn't know if you answered.
it's
I
going to be
didn't
the
hear you answer
Challenger, but it's going to be modified or hopefully something different.
Okay.
We'll see. I mean, I know for a fact that everybody knows the 25 Challenger has not been released yet. Almost all their bikes have, other than the 25.
And it's under some like serious secrecy.
Yes.
Right now.
Yes, it is. So there's something going on.
Finesse said to fix the infotainment first, then make it bigger.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What'd she say?
It's got a lot of bugs. What is it called? Ride
What
command.
you said.
Yeah.
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 Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Barnstorm kit, Adam Sandoval did do that to his Challenger. And it looked good.
Yeah.
But going through and rewiring everything, I mean,
Yeah.
that's kind of crazy. I hope they do fire a shot and answer back. Hopefully with better, work the bugs out of the ride command and make the screen bigger.
And Android Auto.
Yes.
Oh,
Thank
yes.
God. You know.
Yeah. Well, my understanding is Android Auto has actually been, Google's actually closed it off, right? I mean,
I'm not sure. I'm not
They
super
have.
technical,
They have.
Yeah,
You
so-
can't get, and nobody can get it.
yeah, nobody can get it. Yeah.
but just something to answer back to the Apple
Yeah.
CarPlay. Just give us something.
And make sure it's wireless. Don't have to have a mic
wireless.
and that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Maybe put a mic, on the dash or something, or, the console there, so we don't have to worry about having to have a mic attached to it.
Yeah,
That's crazy. But I think they have to. I hate to say this, but I think the ride command needs to be a whole new version from the ground up, because it does have a lot of bugs. I mean, I can't use it for navigation at all. I have to use I hate to say that about Indians, but how's it with you, Fish?
So a lot of times I run my phone and the ride command, and I would say and I do that mostly. I'll tell you the reason why is so I can see where the cops are on my apps, more than really I care, right, about that. Because if you look at a map, right, I guess we could all go back to the old days where we looked at a map and kind of had an idea of where we were going. And so when it told you to exit off some weird road, you're like, no, I don't think I need to do that. I can go to 100 miles down this road still. But yeah, I'd say I probably lean towards Google a little bit more than Indian Motorcycles Ride Command.
Yep.
Hey, Keith, hang on real quick. Keith, boy, he has a new Rogue Glide. Can you use Android Auto? No, he's an Apple guy. Can you even use Apple? I heard that they may have lost Apple. Some of these motorcycle companies are losing Apple too.
Well, I wouldn't doubt it. There's got to be some licensing going on there that's getting extraordinary. So I wouldn't doubt that being the case. It's a strange and complicated thing to try to make every cell phone work on your platform.
Yeah.
Except every car can do it. I think it comes down to a liability thing of playing on motorcycles. Nothing like getting involved in the thing that's people die on every day, right?
Yeah. And I use Waze all the time, and I like it because it tells me what the police officers are and stuff like that.
What do you need to know that
Hey,
for? You obey all the laws.
But why would you need that on a closed course in Mexico?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I got to get Aaron out of here because he's 50 miles away and it's night and he's riding a scooter. So I appreciate you coming on the show, and you're going to do another one with us, maybe?
Yeah. How about we do number 2 or 3 online, then maybe we try to do one in person one of these days.
Yeah, that sounds like a
That'd be
great
good.
idea.
Sounds
Oh,
cool.
Vegas. Maybe we scam one out in Vegas if you guys come on out.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, that's a
there you
good
go.
idea.
There you go.
Yeah,
So
that's
now
a
we
good.
have to go.
Oh yeah, I know.
I mean, it's for
Maybe we can get some
business.
sponsors to help us out. This guy's got 300,000 miles, and I got to pay like the $700 ticket.
Yeah, really.
My ticket's
How much?
$22.
Hey, Fish, I don't think my health's going to let me come out to Vegas, but hey, it's finally good to talk to you, even if it's just
Hey.
over the computer, brother. It's good to talk
Hey,
to you.
man. Hey, I said this privately to Chris, but I'll just say it publicly to you, dude. I appreciate all the support that you give all the time. Between kind words and just support behind the scenes. And I'm just telling you, like face to face or video to video, I do appreciate you. I appreciate. There's a lot of people that do like you do, but you're always there. Me and you bullshit privately often, and I look forward to it. Sometimes maybe it takes me a minute to get back, but once we got it, we're going. So
Yes, we do. It's good talking to you too, my friend, and
Absolutely.
thank you for the kind words. Much appreciated.
Yep, and I guess we'll reach out to you, or you can reach out to me. I'm off on Friday, so do you want to give me some? I know you work on Friday, but yeah, we'll figure out what date we can do this. probably in January, or you want to do it soon. It's up to you. Just let me know, and we'll
I
get
mean,
this.
my schedule's a little bit
Yeah.
not resolved ever, so
Yeah.
I just got to play it a little bit by ear.
And I'll get with Finesse, and I'll get him on here. Maybe we'll get both of you on the same time. That'd be cool.
I'm
That
down
would
for
be
it.
awesome.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
And I apologize, Finesse. If I get spam all the time. I'm sorry. If it doesn't say whose name it is, I just let it go to the voicemail. So let's leave a voicemail message. You'll be fine. Aaron, you got anything?
That's it for me.
All right.
Yeah.
And you got anything?
I think I'm good. Looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, I'll let you
That'd be
end
fun.
it, Fish. Go ahead.
You know what to say, Fish. Come on.
What is it, man?
Hey guys, well, I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody. Anybody watching this that knows me, please give these guys a like and a subscribe and check it out. If you guys like it, we're going to run it back anyway. It's nice to do it twice. And so until next time, ride hard, ride fast, and say hi to somebody you don't know. Peace.
Peace, brother.
Peace. Thank you.
Absolutely,
All right.
guys.
Have a good night.
Thanks,
Yeah, have a
Fish.
good one.
Yep. All right, Connie.